Hello and thank you for watching another tax software training video. In this video we're going to be discussing configuration. Alright, we've got our login credentials. We're into our office. Now what do we do to set the office up to our specifications, to our liking, to optimize it for our use? Well, we need to go to configuration. So I click select here. I have my office set up, my ERO set up, my preparer set up, and then my fees, as well as security templates. Let's kind of work our way backwards. I'd like to set up my security templates first before I set up my preparers. I just like having them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and click select, and I've already got one in there. I'm going to now add a security template, and we're going to call this a manager. And what do I want them to be able to do and what do I not want them to be able to do? Well, my manager is not responsible for looking at reports. They are responsible for the operations and throughput of tax returns and submitting to the IRS and making sure that happens, but not necessarily the finances. So I'm going to disable them from viewing reports. They don't need to configure. They don't need to be able to delete returns, but they can create returns, access prior year, mark a return for review, view client status. Don't care about that. View full social, add and edit feeds. Change user security templates. I'm setting that up. I'm the owner of the office, so I'm defining user permissions. I want them to be able to submit to the IRS. They can change a return if they need to. Print return, scan. They don't need to do any of this because I'm doing that. And then we click continue. So now we have a manager in there. I'm going to go back to my config and I'm going to now set up a preparer. So I click add. I'm going to skip the social security component. This is going to be our manager and click in manager and their P10 number P0 blah 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 blah. Their SIG pin. And so this is really cool. This is something you can define per prepare. Office contact, is this the person you want support to be contacting? Can view, this is the big one, can view own returns only. So I wouldn't do this for my manager, but maybe for my preparers. Basically disables them from seeing any return other than those that they create. You've got 5,000 returns in your database. This preparer has done 50 of them. They can only see 50 returns. 4,950 returns are not viewable by them. Okay? It keeps everything really separated, really clean. You work on your files, you work on yours. Managers can oversee everybody. You've got your email address. This is going to be taxoffice@gmail. And then we'd put in our manager username, blah, blah, blah. Manager 2015, and we'll use that for our password and so forth. And our security question. Down here, this is where you would disable somebody. If you had a parting of ways with one of your preparers during the year and you wanted to make sure that they couldn't access the software any longer, you would click right there and they are dead in the water. If I click this, please select, I click my manager, and we're ready to go. Click continue. They're set up in the software. Very, very easy to use. Go ahead and go back. We've got Office setup, ERO setup. This should be configured for us pretty much from the get-go. Your bank selection would be in there, and you would select your appropriate bank. What date you wanted printed on the return. You do need at least one physical address and one business phone number actually in here. This should be designated as a business phone number. We're going to continue here. Not worried about the ERO setup. We know what that is. Let's talk about fees for a minute. We have the ability to set up and set this on a per form basis. You can also set a floor, meaning what is the minimum amount we're going to charge for a return. No matter what, we're never charging less than 150 bucks. Okay? Even if the forms and fees that I have in this list don't add up to 150 bucks, we're still going to invoice at 150 bucks. Okay? So I'm going to click here under my federal forms, and these are all my federal forms. I can search for a form and go in and just build just for what is it? W-2. All right, there we go. And I could say W-2s are $25 per, and I click out of it. It says my update's successful. I can type in my 1040 and pull up all my 1040s. We're charging whatever, 95 bucks here. We're charging 85 bucks here and 75 here. Okay, very, very simple. You can also tab down the list. So what a lot of people like to do is start at the top and just kind of tab through everything. So what are you charging for a federal electronic filing fee? 35 bucks. Instant loan filing fee, document prep fee, service bureau fee. You know what I mean? Just go right on down the list. Makes it very, very simple. And then our billing would be set. We can go back to our configuration. And now we have our custom fees and discounts. These are fees that you charge as a result of a program that you operate in your office. And let's say it's 50 bucks and it is credit repair. Okay. Oops. And that would help if I could type. And we're going to charge this by default, meaning it's going to be on every return. And you can edit the fee on the return. So depending on how intensive the credit repair is, we know there's varying degrees, real simple to real difficult. This would be the base amount. And then you have the ability to then edit that on the return. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Okay. And you can create a handful of them. I think you can create 5 or 10 of them. And then they are reportable in the software as well. So I'm going to jump into the software, show you how those custom billing items work here in 1 second. So here we are on our e-file page, and as you can see, one of our custom billing items that we created was credit repair. I set it as a default to be on every return. I also made it so that it was editable, meaning we can charge more or we can charge less. Oops. Very, very easy to do, very easy to set up. That was again in configuration. So I think we covered all the items we needed to. We covered security templates and prepare setup, how to activate them and deactivate them. We set up our billing and configuration there, as well as custom billing items. I think we covered everything. Congratulations. Thank you very much for taking a look, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.